Welcome back to Worst Engines or Not. Today we're talking about the Ecotec 2.4 liter engine from GM. This engine debuted in 2006 and can be found in your small to mid-size SUVs from GM, your Saturn Views, your Terrain, your Equinox, etc. GM has upgraded this engine several times since 2006. So the original version is the LE5, and then the mild hybrid version of that original 2.4 is called the LAT. Then in 2010, they introduced some piston upgrades, they increased compression, and then they also switched over to direct injection. RPO code for that is LAF, and then this direct injection version also had its own hybrid option and then an option that was compatible with E85. So I'll put up all the RPO codes here. By now, we are all probably familiar with the fact that these are known to be very problematic. I think that there are two main issues that we definitely need to talk about. One of the biggest problems on these engines is the timing failure. This has been known to happen a lot, and the timing failures usually stem from the fact that one of the tensioners has a top bolt that is known to loosen up over time. This is going to create slack in your timing chain, and undoubtedly the chain will eventually jump teeth and jump timing. Since it's an interference engine, this means that your valves and your piston are going to collide at some point, and this damage can be catastrophic. If you suspect this is your problem, you probably are going to be able to hear it, but you can also see it on your chain. You're going to see marks and scuffing. I have a video on this page that is probably one of the first videos that I ever posted, and it shows the kind of catastrophic damage that can happen if timing issues go untreated in this engine specifically. If you own this engine, I encourage you to go and watch that video. Second thing I want to talk about, and probably tied with timing for the worst problem in these engines, is going to be oil consumption. This is such a problem that GM is facing a lot of lawsuits regarding this. There is a problem with the design of the piston rings in this engine. Essentially, those piston rings allow excess oil to move past the piston through the cylinder up into the combustion chamber, where it is eventually burned off. So the problem becomes even more serious when consumers are not topping off their oil or checking or changing their oil properly. You can run your engine out of oil this way. Supposedly, GM is aware of the issue and they are working with consumers to help solve the problem whenever it's necessary. The other part of this is that the piston rings themselves, if you do let that problem go and the piston rings continue to wear, eventually can lead to compression issues in your engine as well. Now, in 2010, when GM switched over to the direct injection engine design, consumers also started to see signs of carbon buildup. This is something that you see with all direct injection engines, and it certainly isn't anywhere near as problematic as the timing or the oil consumption. Consumers also state that they have problems with oil leaks on this engine way before you would expect oil leaks to start happening. And the areas of the leak range from everywhere from your rear main seal to your valve cover to your head gasket to your oil pan gasket. It just seems like this is a very leaky engine. You likely will not be seeing me drive a vehicle with one of these in there. If you have any experience with this, I would love to hear about it in the comments.